I was a kid, I didn't care too much about what I wore. I just went along with what my mom chose. When I look back at the old photo albums, I realize she didn't care much either. I walked into the house and I let out a huff and said to my wife, "I've been so busy, I don't know whether I'm coming or going." She said, "Well, by the look on your face, you're going. 'Cause when you're coming, you look like a stroke victim trying to whistle." I outright refuse to argue with people who should have been swallowed. Girl, I need a sugar daddy that don't want no sugar. I need a diabetic daddy. Did you know that cucumbers are really good for your memory? Yeah, someone stuck one up my friend's ass like 35 years ago and he still remembers. A recent survey concluded that the smartphone is now the #1 handheld device, slipping the penis down to second place. If the past 5 years were to be made into a drink, it would be a colonoscopy prep. The top 3 warning labels that should be put on alcohol bottles of all kinds. Consuming alcohol may make you think you're whispering when you really aren't. Number 2, consuming alcohol may give you the urge to call that really hot girl who is just dying to hear from you, when in actual fact, she doesn't know who you are. Number 3, consuming alcohol may lead to unexplained carpet burns on your forehead. Today, I farted in a grocery store aisle. Some lady walking by said, "Ew, you're gross." I said, "Well, you got too close and your mask doesn't work." The Tony Toons interesting fact of the day. Did you know that methamphetamine was shortened to meth so that it was easier to say with no front teeth? I'm not always an absolute train wreck. Just kidding. Toot toot! I saw a woman at Walmart the other day with March Madness teeth. Yeah, she was down to the final 4. What do a pregnant woman, frozen beer, and burnt pizza have in common? An absolute idiot who forgot to pull it out in time. Do you know what the gender-neutral term for sugar daddy is? Glucose guardian. Penn and Teller are like an old married couple. Only one of them gets to talk. I identify as a threat. My pronouns are fuck around and find out. A girl telling off a friend. "Bitch, how you gonna fuck the dope man but not the landlord? Now you outside all high." What do you call a magician's assistant with 1 brain cell? Gifted. What do you call a magician's assistant with 2 brain cells? Pregnant. You know that you're officially old when you say, "What you talking about, Willis?" And nobody knows what you're talking about. I say no to drugs, but they won't listen. Who? Tony? Nah, he'll never settle down, 'cause he suffers from multiple sclerosis. "What you talking about, Willis?" So I invented a new golf ball that will automatically go in the hole if it gets within 4 inches of it. Note to self. Do not carry them in your back pocket. A guy who's out on the golf course takes a high-speed ball right in the crotch. Writhing in agony, he falls to the ground, and he finally gets himself to the doctor. And he says, "How bad is it, Doc? I'm going on my honeymoon next week, and my fiancée is still a virgin in every way." The doc says, "I'll have to put your penis in a little splint to let it heal and keep it straight. It should be okay next week." He took 4 tongue depressors and he formed a neat little 4-sided bandage and wired it all together nicely in an impressive work of art. The guy mentions none of this to his girlfriend. They marry, and on their honeymoon night in the motel room, she rips open her blouse to reveal a gorgeous set of breasts. This was the first time he ever saw them, and she says, "You're the first. No one has ever touched these breasts." He pulls down his pants, whips it out, and says, "Look at mine, it's still in the crate." 2 p.m., proud of self for not buying the ice cream. 9 p.m. mad at 2 p.m. self. Women. Men who stop at yellow lights won't ever do that thing you like. Isn't it just hilarious when the company that you're actually trying to call asks you to press 1 for English and then puts Bin Laden's sister on the phone? I can't tell for certain, but I believe that in hell you're surrounded by people saying shit like especially and irregardless. Men. A woman will literally pour hot wax on her very sensitive places and rip it off just so you'll like her. And you're all surprised when she acts crazy? Don't you think that getting another set of teeth would be so much more useful at age 50 instead of age 7? Did you hear that the Payday chocolate bar is changing its name because it's too offensive to those who don't work? Hey, get up, dust yourself off, yell fuck, then start again. Hello? Hi, honey? Hi, it's Daddy. Is Mommy near the phone? No, Daddy, she's upstairs in the bedroom with Uncle Paul. Daddy says, but honey, you don't have an Uncle Paul. Oh, yes, I do, and he's upstairs in the room with Mommy right now. Oh, okay, then. I want you to put the phone down and run upstairs and knock on the door and shout to Mommy that Daddy's car just pulled up the driveway. Okay, Daddy, just a minute. A few minutes later, the little girl comes back to the phone. I did it, Daddy. And what happened, honey? Well, Mommy got all scared and she jumped out of the bed naked and ran around screaming, and then she tripped on the rug and hit her head on the dresser, and now she isn't moving at all. Oh my God! What about your Uncle Paul? Well, he jumped out of the back window into the pool, but I guess he didn't know that you took the water out last week to clean it. So he hit the bottom of it, and I think he's dead. Then Daddy says, swimming pool? Is this 486-5732? Little girl says, I think you have the wrong number.